Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Talk. Well, my guest today is a singer, a songwriter, and a recording artist. Time to meet Norine Braun. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Nancy. Good to be here.
Oh,
Thanks for
it's nice
having
to
me.
have you for sure. Uh, I want to know about when you began singing professionally.
Professionally, I've released my first album in 96, so it's been quite a while. But I was a singer-songwriter and recording artist. I didn't perform until about 2000.
Oh,
That's when I had my first band. So yeah, I was more songwriter, recording artist, and then I started performing. So about 25 years, 24 years.
can you remember the
Yeah.
first time you were on stage?
Yeah, it was terrifying. I'm one of those reluctant performers. I had a lot of anxiety uh standing up in front of a group, but so I took some overcoming stage fear, stage anxiety, and then I'm comfortable now. But
Oh,
the only way I got through that was to just keep going and to do it. And then the more you do it, the less scary it is.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have a particular style of music?
Yeah, I'm a roots rock, blues, jazz, singer-songwriter. So I have a full band. I also have a trio, and then I play with my partner as a duo a lot. So
Right.
some people like folky singer-songwriter when it's a duo, a little bit of jazz, and then the bigger the more full sound.
So, do
So
you
with a full band, it's rock and
Right.
blues. Yeah.
Okay. Do you perform your own stuff all the time?
Yeah. So I'm a singer-songwriter, so I do originals.
Okay. So
That's what I play.
so tell me, like I've interviewed lots of musicians and songwriters, and they all have a sort of a different way of doing things, when they're writing. So how does it work for you?
For writing music,
Yeah, like what?
it
Sorry.
yeah, it comes in all different ways. Sometimes I do lyrics first, sometimes I do music first. Sometimes they both come in together. It really depends. If I'm writing something specifically for something, uh, then I may do the lyrics first and then do the melody around that. But it really depends, and it's sort of everything can happen anyway. So yeah, music first, sometimes lyrics first, sometimes both.
Okay. So now within the band, like are you the only one that does the writing, the songwriting?
Yeah, I'm the songwriter. So it's Norine Braun band because it's my material.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not much of a collaborator. I have collaborated a few times, but I tend to work best on my own.
So yep,
But
yeah,
I have done it. Yeah, and I have liked it, but yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, I find that that's most of the way, they usually the way it is. Like I happened to interview a band and they all contribute to the writing, which was to me very unusual, you know.
Yeah.
Like I can see one,
Yeah, some
two, but for everybody, like it's like, whoa, that's different.
yeah.
Um, so
Yes, they
no,
get along really well.
yeah, yeah. So you
Yeah.
must have been touring, done lots of tours.
I've done a few, not a lot. I tend to play local a lot because, especially in the summer,
Mhm.
in the Lower Mainland, there's such a large amount of each city has outdoor concerts, outdoor events. So I keep really busy locally in the summer.
Mhm.
I have done a cross Canada tour with my partner. We were on the train. We did Ontario and Quebec and went down to New York. We've done an interior tour. We've done an island tour. I went to Japan by myself and did a tour just as a solo artist. And
Oh,
that was really fun, but kind of scary because I don't speak Japanese, but people were really helpful. So
very.
yeah, so I've done a little bit. I'd like to do more, but I really enjoy playing locally. I like the summertime. It really is a thriving place I find, anyways, for the Lower Mainland. And I like playing outside. I'd rather play outside than anywhere.
I
So
was just going to ask you that,
yeah.
because not everybody enjoys doing it outside, performing outside, but you do.
Yeah, that's my preference actually. In my ideal world is to play outside, just as relaxing and
Yeah.
if it's sunny, it's not if it's raining, but if it's nice out and yeah, people are in a positive framework when we're outside and it's really grounding and I enjoy it. Yeah.
And I can imagine it can accommodate wherever you are outside more people than an indoor venue, I would think, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah. And so, and you're sort of creating a space when you're outside. And I think people are in a really good mood when they're outside, and you sort of just are part of that ambiance of the trees and the
Yeah,
sunshine, and it's a nice feeling. Yeah.
cool. So tell me about some of your songs, like the titles and what they're about.
Sure. Well, my latest album is coming out next month, May 24th. It's called Journey Toward Wholeness. And it's all about my journey as an adoptee. I was adopted, and I just met my birth father 3 years ago. I didn't know his name or anything about him.
Oh,
And I've gotten to know him and my paternal lineage, which is Métis, Red River Métis.
okay.
So I was really fortunate to receive a grant from First Peoples Cultural Council to write it and record it last year.
Nice.
And it explores what my life was like as in terms of when you're searching for roots and your identity and my identity. And yeah, so it was really a wonderful opportunity to express all those feelings. So that's coming out May 24th. I have a new single coming out this Thursday. It's called Adoption, which is
Okay.
actually the premise for the
Oh,
and it's kind of a
yeah. Sorry, this will
soulful,
be aired after that. So, but it'll be in time for the 24th. Uh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, the 24th is when the album comes.
Okay.
Uh, so I mean, my music tends to be my life experience or things that move me. So my last album before this one was called Songs for Trees. I received a Canada Council award to write it, as well as the First Peoples Cultural Council, and that was all about how, trees are sacred. They give us the air we breathe, and I think we have so many problems, mostly because we've lost touch with trees and the sacredness of all plants and life. So but it's a joyful album because I wanted to celebrate the beauty of trees and how important they are to us.
Mm,
So that was that one. And the album before that was December Falls, which was written during and recorded during the pandemic when we couldn't have anywhere to play.
right.
I decided to, that was my first one that I did for the pandemic. And that one's all about Christmas. And so I was thinking about a time when things are happy, for not for everybody, but for a lot of us.
Mm,
You gather with your friends and your family and celebrate
yeah.
uh, here. So yeah, so those things, they tend, music is my therapy, it's my expression, and that's where I draw from for writing my albums, is
And
sort of what's going on.
yeah, music touches everybody, right? In
Right.
some way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure. Um, I was going to ask you, yeah, you mentioned your biological father. You didn't know his name. How did that come about that you met him?
Well, it's really amazing. I had my DNA tested and I joined, it was ancestry.ca, because I was just, my dream was just to know his name and to know where I came from, like who my ancestors were. And so I had that done, and I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I connected with a cousin, a bloodline cousin. And I said, if you ever discover anyone that might know of me, let me know. And he said, oh, for sure. And then during the pandemic, his wife was doing her genealogy, and she was done that. So she was working on his. And he said, are you still interested in learning who your birth father was? And I said, oh, for sure. I said, he may not even know of my existence. Like, I don't know anything about him. He may not know that I even am here, and he may not even be alive. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it was really strange because, and magical and mystical. My mother passed away, my mother who adopted me. And we were really fortunate we could go to Calgary and be with her. She died Easter morning 3 years ago, the day before my birthday. And
Oh,
2 days after, the day after my birthday, I get an email from my cousin saying, we know who your father is, and he's alive. He knows of you and he wants to meet you. So it was like, it was such a roller coaster. So I had this grief from my mother losing her, and then this excitement and wonder of, I know who he is. I know his name. I know where he comes from. So it's been really wonderful. Took our time. We talked a lot on the phone for the first year, and then I met him 2 years ago, and then last year, and then this year we're going to see him again. He's in his 80s,
right.
and his health is in decline, but he's still really with it, and it's just been a real amazing experience. So I wanted to capture such a cool thing in my life, and and it's just been a really a wonderful positive experience. So that's what I did. And some part of me feels almost like my mother had some kind of hand in it, because she was always very open and willing to help me if I wanted to connect. But I just didn't feel like the right time, and things just didn't happen that way. But it was so like the timing, like if you saw it in a movie, it would be what
Yeah.
2 days later. You know, so really.
Oh
So
my. Just was meant to be.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's been
Wow.
really really cool.
So
And
did
so I
you,
capture some
sorry, go ahead.
and yeah, I captured that in the album.
Okay.
Sort of more the adoption experience, and then I have a bit of my Métis ancestry that sort of comes into it's a concept album, so the music moves into that.
Yeah, okay. So with your music, like, is there anybody else in your family that's musical in your background?
Well, in my family that I was raised in, my brother played guitar. My parents didn't, but they enjoyed listening to music, and we always had music on in our home. And then in my biological side, my birth father played guitar. My brother, my half brother, is a drummer.
Cool.
So he was yeah, so we got to play together last year for the first time when I was going out to visit my family, and then we're playing together again this year.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, there's family that music played prominently, and in my Métis family, paternal lineage, my grandparents were fiddle players and jiggers
Wow.
and sang. So yeah, so in the bloodline, there's definitely uh, a gene there, and in my family that I was raised in, there was a definite fostering of interest in music and appreciation for music.
And,
Yeah,
as you're talking and telling me some of these things, I'm thinking it is like a movie, you
yeah,
know?
I know.
What a wonderful
Yeah.
story. It truly is a wonderful story, right?
It really is. Yeah, it's I could never have imagined it how it's all happened. Like if you had told me 10 years ago this is what's going to happen, I'd be like, "What?" So
No, I know you
yeah.
have a website that people can contact you and find out your information, right? Your your music, or maybe
Yeah.
how to get in touch with you if they want to hire you, your band, right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, my website's norinebraun.com.
okay,
NORINBRAUN .com. And you can Google me, and I'm pretty much on every digital download place for music.
right,
But yeah, that's I have a gig page on norinebraun.com, and it sort of tells you where I'm playing and what's happening. So, and I have a newsletter if you want to sign up there and get a free MP3, or actually it's a WAV file, and stay current. Usually I put out news every couple of weeks if there's something happening. If there isn't, then monthly. Yeah,
very good, yeah,
great.
yeah. Speaking of Googling, I Googled myself just to see if I would come up, and I did. It's like, whoa, that's weird. It's a bit of an ego thing, like, whoa, wow. Okay, so you, um, and it's nice to know that we have friends in common. I think that's how I found your name, right? Like
Oh,
Russell Wallace, is one of them. Um,
sure.
so there's a whole bunch of people that we have in common. I think there's like 68 people that we have mutual friends.
Oh, wow.
That always fascinates.
It's a small
Yeah, but that always fascinates me, how I, like, some people ask me, well, how did you find me? And it's usually like that way, like Facebook, they'll suggest people you might know or people you have friends in common with. And that's how I find a lot of my guests, which is truly cool. Because I never would know where you're going to be, It's so for you being local, Vancouver, basically being local, it's kind of nice,
totally.
right? So this summer, so how many do you know offhand? How many gigs you have booked?
Right now I have the CD release on the 24th. I'm playing this Friday at the community for LGBT seniors. They're Spring Fling. And then I have my album release on the 24th. And then the 2 days after that, I'm at Art in the Garden in West Vancouver on the Memorial Library. They have this every year where people open up their gardens and they have music and artisans. So I'll be playing both days there. And I've got some in gigs in New West. I haven't posted that yet. And then we're actually going on a little mini tour. We're playing, Alice and I, we're playing Edmonton, the Paw, Manitoba, and Calgary. and then I have some I can't announce yet until next week, where I'm playing in the summer, until they make their major announcements. So, and then, yeah, so it'll be pretty busy
Yeah,
as they come up. But
right.
so far, right now, I have about 6 bookings till the end of June. So,
Okay, because some of this won't be airing in time because this is going to air May 20th. So
oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
good. Just in time for the album release.
yes, that was just serendipitous. So it was like, oh yay for that one. And what's the name of that album? I think you mentioned it, but what's the name of it?
Called Journey Toward Wholeness.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's really going to be interesting. So typically, how many songs do you have on an album?
Oh, 12 songs usually.
Okay.
I usually do uh, a dozen's good, a good hour if you're performing. So yeah,
Right.
that's
So is that
a good
what a gig would last like for an hour?
45 minutes to an hour, depending. Sometimes 90 minutes, depending if you're playing, where you're playing and what you're doing. If
Hmm.
you're the feature, if they're something for you. But usually you want to have, most artists have like a good 3 sets that they're solid in. So 3 45s. And it depends how long you've been doing it. Some people could probably play all day. So, and other people, maybe they're just starting out and be like, I don't know, an hour. But you know, if you're looking for bookings, you want to be able to entertain or
Yeah.
for at least a couple hours.
So when you're entertaining, like, do you get requests? And if so, do you like that?
Um, I don't take requests of anybody else's music because I'm a singer-songwriter, but
Yeah.
if someone, and if it's my own material, hopefully if I know it, but because I have 14 albums, I don't keep my whole repertoire up to
Right.
date. So, but if people let me know beforehand if they're coming and they have a favorite, I totally will bring it up to speed.
Right.
Absolutely. But if it's on the fly, it depends if it's something that we're working on right away. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I did mean your own songs, of course. I understand that you just perform your
Oh,
own.
but I do get some people request play some Johnny Cash. And it's like, oh, sorry. I'm not that kind of a musician. Don't take requests.
It's so interesting. I don't remember who it was that I was interviewing, another musician, and he said he's never did cover songs until recently. And he said, whoa, that wasn't too bad. You know, it surprised him that he didn't think he would enjoy it, but he actually did. But he prefers
Yeah.
to sing his own material, and everybody has their
Oh, yeah.
thing, right?
Everybody has their thing. Some people absolutely love doing covers, and that's how they make their living. And
Yeah.
if anything, I think you get a lot more gigs if you can do covers, because covers are what everybody knows. So it's a lot more challenging
Mm.
if people don't know your music to win them over.
Right.
Whereas if you play a song everybody knows, it's sort of you already have an instant kind of connection with them. So
Oh, I
I
see.
would actually, yeah, I think covers for people who enjoy them doing them. That's really a smart way to go in terms of making a living if you can do covers
For
and you
sure.
like doing covers.
And
Yeah.
there's people who do tributes to certain artists, right? And there's all kinds of different things. And I think that's what makes it so great that everybody does whatever they are comfortable doing or they enjoy doing. Anyways,
Exactly.
so yeah, so I think I've covered everything. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but just stay on camera, just to the audience. You've listened to Norine Braun, and I'm going to share her information, her Facebook page. Well, she's on Facebook, but I'm going to share her website. Check it out. You can find out where she's going to be performing, when she's going to be performing. And I would just suggest to everybody, I say this all the time when I'm interviewing an artist, get out there and listen to live music. It is just so wonderful. So much better than hearing it on Spotify or the radio, wherever you listen to it. Get out there and support the artist because everybody likes, it's a win-win for everybody. Anyway, thank you
Absolutely.
everybody for watching the show. I hope you continue to do so. Take care and peace out.